Hi, this is Lucas with the Yoga Teachers College, and I get this question a lot. Hey, how can I become a better yoga teacher? And first of all, I love the question because I like to ask this question myself, and anybody asking this question is for sure going to find a path forward. And the reality is most yoga teachers don't become better after about the first year. They tend to stagnate and plateau. And you can see this in just about any studio, in any city in the world. People reach their peak after 1, 2, maybe 3 years max, and they just don't grow as teaching professionals. So how can you grow as a teaching professional? I've come back to this again and again because I've been at this teaching gig now for over a decade, and it's something you have to revisit. And my conclusion is that there are only two things you can work on. One is you, and the other is your community. I'm going to say that again. One is you, and the other is your community. So let's talk first about you. You are the skills, the knowledge, the abilities that you possess. So that might be your knowledge of anatomy and physiology. That might also encompass your public speaking skills. That might also include anything that you have with your physical adjustments, with your room placement, with your structures, your sequencing, anything that has to do with the way that you show up in the room. If you can improve that, you improve your classes full stop every time. The other asset that often gets overlooked is community. Community are the people who know, like, and trust you. I used to work with a yoga teacher who was an amazing teacher, and he'd been teaching for over 30 years, and he had students all over the world, but he never built his community via email or social media or mailing list or anything. So when he was having a training or a workshop or a retreat or even just a birthday party, he had no way to let everybody know. And so the you part of it, meaning your skills, your ability, your classes, your workshops, can be as awesome as can be, but if you don't have a way to communicate with your people, your community, it's never going to work. So if you think of the two assets, the two things that matter, it always comes back to you and your community, and within that you have to figure out what makes sense. Maybe you love yoga anatomy, or maybe not. Maybe you love public speaking, but you're not that big on anatomy. That's okay. It doesn't mean you have to learn everything, but you do need to go deeper with the things you do love. In terms of community, same thing. Maybe you love social media, but you hate email. Well, you can make that work. Maybe you love email, but you hate social media. Maybe you're a SMS or a text message person on the telephone. That can work too. But you have to focus on growing your knowledge and your abilities and growing your community. That's the only way yoga business grows. When people look at my studios, they often think that growing the yoga business, growing my yoga world, involved building studios and physical bricks and mortar. None of this stuff matters. None of this stuff has any intrinsic value, and nobody cares. The only thing people care about is your skills, your ability, and your community, and that could happen in a park, that could happen in a stadium, or it might happen inside of a yoga studio. There's one story I will tell you to really help you remember how this happens. Let's imagine you love my class, and it's Tuesday night, and it's a 7 p.m. power class, and you're coming to my class, and we play great music, and we sweat, and you come every Tuesday for a year, and then one Tuesday you come, and the doors are closed, and I'm outside, and I say, hey, guess what? We changed locations, and today we're going to have the class down the street. Here's the address. You would pick up and walk away from this studio, which I spent so much time and money building, in 1 minute, and you wouldn't give it a second thought. The venue doesn't matter. The logo doesn't matter. The brand doesn't matter. And I say this as someone who owns venues, as someone who has built brands. I'm telling you, no one cares. It's the same as the music industry. You go to see the artist, not the venue. You buy the album, not the label. It's exactly the same in the yoga world. They're coming for the teaching, not the venue, and they're coming because of the community, not some stupid logo. So if you want to get focused on growth, if you want to move forward, focus on you, focus on your community, and you can never go wrong. Hope that's helpful. We'll talk to you soon.